First question is, what effect does cutting to a beat within music videos have on the production itself?
What does it do?
Well, I think it sort of starts it on a high. Like, you don't necessarily build up, you just get straight into it, which I suppose if you sort of want to get the audience's attention from the get-go can be a useful thing to use, I guess.
Okay. How effective would it be to use in, say, a fast-paced video as opposed to quite a slow song? Which kind of music would you prefer to see cutting to the beat in?
Well, I would say definitely a faster song, because slower songs are generally to convey a certain sort of emotion, normally a sad one, so it's really hard to have an upbeat, sad song. It doesn't really work.
I'm now going to show the song Downtown by Macklemore.
Song.
I'd like you to tell me how effective is the beat cutting on this? What sort of
I want to just go back like 2
Yeah,
seconds.
I like
what sort of effect does it have on the video itself?
Yeah.
I think they tied that in pretty well actually. Every scene just seems to link in, and then as soon as you get into the rapping part of it, all of a sudden you just get the scooters just coming down the alleyway. Fantastic.
So are there any downsides to cutting by editing it to the beat? Are there certain techniques that could be better suited if you, say, cut outside of the beat?
I think it works. I think it generally works well with cutting to the beat because you feel a bit more of a. If you've only heard the song before, you feel a bit more of an attachment to the video.
If you're able to cut to the tempo outside the beat, then you can sort of change the flow of the song, which for a lot of songs is effective. And obviously in Downtown, like, as soon as you sort of cut to the beat, that's it. It's the same the whole way through. So if you don't like that and maybe you prefer a kind of build-up, there's nothing more they can do with it. But if you do enjoy it, then you've got it the whole way through, which can work as well.
Okay. When I talk about effects, that is various, like special or visual. What do you typically see in music videos? Like, is it special effects or visual effects? Visual effects are like makeup and props. Special effects would be CGI, animation, that sort of thing. What do you typically see in videos?
typically visual.
Yeah.
Do you think there's any reason for that?
It's more relatable and realistic than if you have a green screen.
Do you think that the type of effect, like visual or special, used would depend on the song or artist? Or do you think it's like, you can just use it whenever?
I would say it generally depends on song or artist, because they try and set a trend. Like, you know, if you see Lady Gaga's songs, they all sort of have the same sort of weird vibe to them that's not necessarily dependent on what she's singing.
Okay. I know that 3 of you have seen this. This is the music video for Emperor's New Clothes. Do you think that the effect used in that video was better? Do you think it would have been better if they used CGI? Why do you think they used that kind of effect?
I think it's more realistic like that.
So it's more personal, would you say?
Yeah.
Kind of, yeah.
I mean, if you use CGI, it would kind of detract from the meaning of the song.
Okay.
Yeah.
That
I think
makes
that-
it more realistic.
Plus one actually.
I think that relates more to like the band's kind of image
Yeah,
that they
well,
try to
yeah.
portray as well. So
Probably.
Okay, thank you.
Good.
So on the flip side, this is the music video for the song Stylo. You'll notice that part of it, the singers are all completely animated, they're all CGI. Same question again, why do you think they use this rather than, say, have puppets or people in suits?
To make them unique.
Well, why does it make them unique?
Because it's a monkey driving a car.
Yes, but okay, so what does it do for the song and the music video itself? Why would they use that instead of
I'm
something
going to
else?
pass them to Io.
It makes it stand out from other music videos. It's not a lot of videos
Yeah,
use that.
normally the approach of the gorillas is just to be different more than anything, but there's a lot more they can do with 3D animation than puppets.
Alright.
I thought also that the gorillas, they're also trying to create an image of themselves, and considering that, like, aren't they just a group which is formed of different members taken from different groups who've tried to create themselves as like as a virtual group in a way?
Yeah, all their videos, they have the same cast of weird animated characters.
Oh, there you go.
Next we move on to miming and lip syncing. Why do you think they do that in their videos? They like say the words of the song? Why do you think they do that rather than say just quiet the entire time and just act out scenarios rather than just sing it?
Because it creates more of a link with the music video and the song. If you have them lip sync it, then rather just act like the song's not even playing.
Okay. What do you think, effect-wise, what does this have on the audience, as well as that? What effect does it have on people miming the words?
It forces you to sort of pay attention, because you're listening to the lyrics of the song, but when you see somebody singing it, you're automatically looking at them. You're not sort of looking around the place, you're not distracted. You're sort of focused on them and what they're doing. So I guess it's sort of drawing attention to the singer, in a way.
So on the flip side, why do you think other videos wouldn't use the lip syncing?
Because they want to focus on the story of the video.
Yeah, sometimes they want to focus more on what the song makes you think than them.
Here we have Imagine Dragons.
Ooh. Okay.
I know you
In which we see points where the band are miming all the words. And then here we have Writings on the Wall by Sam Smith. So if you notice, they both mimed out the words to their songs in a different style. So Sam Smith is a bit softer, and Radioactive, they more shouted their lyrics. Why do you think that is? Why would they lip sync differently?
Because they have different images. Sam Smith is going for a sort of soft, affectionate type of image, whereas Imagine Dragons are sort of meant to be in your face. It's supposed to be a very loud, sort of hyperactive kind of thing, so they have different approaches.
Because of the different genres, I think. And that's why Sam Smith is going for is slightly quieter, slightly softer tone.
Okay. Now this is quite an obscure technique that they use, is multi-images, for example, split screens. Do you know any music videos that use split screen or multiple images?
I have seen a video which does that.
What's that then?
That was I'm trying to remember the name. I think it was
That's a great band.
My Type by Sate Motel.
So why do you think that this is a very rare technique that people use? Why do you think they just... Why do you think people don't usually do this? Have a very non-linear narrative to their music videos?
Probably people don't really do this because it's such an obscure thing to do, and if you do, you have to do it to perfection.
Yeah, it's kind of a hit and miss, really. And I guess it sort of depends on how many stories you're trying to convey, or what perspective, because you don't necessarily need it if it's just sort of from one person's point of view.
Yeah, like with the video that I watched, there was about 12 different people's point of view in it, so that's why they used it.
Go on, Jack, say
Particularly.
something.
So that music video you mentioned earlier, did you like it? Do you think it was bad at what it did, or do you think it did the multi-image quite well?
I thought it did it quite well because I think it was about almost like a love circle, so everyone was just linking to everyone, and so that showed different perspectives from what they were thinking.
Okay. Next we're on to camera movement.
I
What
love
different
this.
effects can camera movements have on the mood of a video? Once again, we'll link back to the example of Emperor's New Clothes. You'll see that the camera movement was quite quick. Lots of edits in there, it's quite fast and lots of cuts. Why do you think they did that in that video?
Well, if it's quite upbeat, then the camera movement might be quite fast and quite dynamic, just to keep...
What sort of mood does that give? Because in the end, music video is supposed to make the viewer feel something as well as
Yes.
promote their video. They want to make the viewers feel something, so what do you think they do? Why do you think they use different camera movements to do that?
That is almost like... I don't know, that raises your heartbeat in a way. If you get...
tension,
I mean,
raises
yeah.
tension. Okay, cool. And then the music video for Centuries with Fall Out Boy. Pretty much the entire video, you notice all the parts have very slow cinematic panning rather than really quick ones. Why do you think that is?
It's for dramatic effect and to focus on the story rather than the music.
Okay. Finally, we're going to go on to camera angles, which may sound similar, but it's slightly different. So, similarly again with the camera movements, what different angles provoke different emotions? Say, if I had the camera view
Like a
really
low angle
low,
shot and a high angle shot.
yes. What sort of emotions would they give? Say, if I had the camera
we
really
have
low,
a low
looking
angle
up on
shot.
someone.
It kind of gives them more power and it makes them seem like that's normally used in films where it's like a bully then if you have a high angle shot, it makes them look small, weak, and vulnerable.
Awesome. That's actually all I need. Thank you very much.
I'm taking the